Welcome to Adventures in Modern Recording. I've been fortunate to be able to work with some of the greatest names in rock history like Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles, Stones, Kiss, Anthrax, and many others. Along the way, I've seen many changes in the recording industry. In this program, you'll get an education in the art of making a record. Welcome to our project studio. We got tons of great gear here. We're going to have a blast recording. It's all the latest stuff. And when we finish with this, you're going to know everything you need to know about recording in a home studio. Check it out. The first element in the recording chain is the microphone. And as you can see here, I'm surrounded by a forest of different types of microphones, condensers here, and dynamics over here. I'd like to talk about condenser microphones. The two that are standing right here in front of me, this is the TLM 170 by Neumann, a really expensive, beautiful microphone, great for vocals, sax, strings, very expensive, mostly used in professional studios.
Internal room acoustics is a little bit more complex. That has to do with all the elements that we see on the surfaces of our rooms, diffusers, absorbers, the shape of the room, the size of the room, and basically that has to do with guaranteeing that our recording sounds good in our microphone and our playback information is not colored or distorted so we can make good judgments.
I'd like to demonstrate a little bit with the equalizer on the console here. I'll play this guitar track. And we can hear how this equalizer will, as I control the low frequencies, it'll boost the bottom end, boost the low frequencies, or cut the low frequencies back. High frequency control.
What I'm going to do is explain what MIDI is. Most project studios, or just about all project studios nowadays, have huge MIDI setups, and that seems to be the heart of a home studio. Simply because you can't always have a whole band recording in your living room, and you can't always have a live drummer come in, so we got to do those kind of things with drum machines and synthesizers and samplers and things like that.
Besides microphones, there's yet another way that you can pick up sound. As in this acoustic guitar over here, it has a pickup built in underneath the bridge. And with a little preamplifier, we can run out of here through this wire into a DI box.
Right now I have this unit set up for a simple delay. You can see here we can set the length of the delay. It's at 250 milliseconds now. Let's hear our singer here again. And
I play with fire.
You can control the length of the delay.
Play with fire.
Control the feedback, the amount of regeneration, how many repeats.
Lift your head, close your eyes.
What advice would you give kids today who are recording enthusiasts?
I find that whether it's playing the guitar, whether it's how I'm going to deliver a line for the audience, whether it's in hooking up a piece of equipment or anything else, that you're much better off to figure out exactly what you're going to do and then go do it.
What you can hear immediately is there is a big difference in the quality of the tone. The 87, of course, being a fairly expensive condenser mic, is capturing the whole frequency range from the very, very top to the very, very bottom. The 57, although a decent microphone, doesn't have that kind of frequency response, and it sounds pinched, and it sounds just a little too skinny. So what I do is I use the characteristics of the 57, which is a kind of a skinny sounding mic, and the full and fatness of the 87, combine the two of them together, and what we get is this. Okay, Richard.
Even still, we still have another concept to deal with, and that has to do with initial time delay gap. The near-field monitors will issue a direct sound wave, which will come right to my ear. However, there'll be some secondary sound that also comes out of the speaker, bounces off the console, and comes back up to my ear. This secondary sound, traveling at the same speed as the primary sound, will arrive a little bit later. That difference in time is what's called the initial time delay gap, and it has to be just right, or else we'll lose such things as stereo focusing and a kind of clarity or crispness of the sound. A good tip is to actually take your near fields and push them back 1 or 2 feet, as we've done here.
When you did the old Hendrix albums, was that tape flanging on the vocal or something?
You know who told us about that? It was George Martin. when he came into Olympic and we were doing the Beatles, we did All You Need Is Love, did that basic track, and then they took it over to EMI and they did all their string overdubs on it. That was 4-track. And anyways, they came back and we were doing Baby You're a Rich Man, and we were bugging him all the time. Said, look, how do you get this sound? You know, we've been hearing it on the previous Beatle records. And we brought Jimmy into the studio, and it was for a track called Axis Bold as Love. And, you know, where the drums come in from the left, they go,
Right.
ba-ba, and I sat Jimmy down next to me like this, and I played it for him, and he freaked out. About studio gear and having fun and making records, I think
I think this is a pretty good setup. I mean,
this is great. I mean,
Yeah.
I could make a serious record here.
Well, I think with the kid, he's got to do that. He should know if he's talented and then go for it. And now it takes the more you know, the better off you are. And of course, the more you know,
The less you know.
the less you know. Yeah, yeah. It comes with the dinner.